Fire on campus. Freedom under siege.
The courtyard is quiet now. You can still smell the smoke in the bricks. Crews are sweeping up what they can, but the air feels heavier than the ash. The smoke cleared, but the silence says enough.
Campus burns again. In theaters now.
The smoking gun just dropped. The police chief who allowed Antifa to terrorize Charlie Kirk's memorial at Berkeley, she's the same officer who orchestrated security failures on January 6th. This was supposed to be a tribute to our murdered friend. Instead, it became a coordinated attack by the same deep state operatives. And wait till you hear who she is. Now, this changes everything because the UC Berkeley police chief, Yogananda Pittman, not just any cop. She was the Capitol Police intelligence officer during January 6th, the same woman who facilitated an operation now overseeing Berkeley, where Antifa was given free rein to attack students mourning Charlie Kirk. Think about the implications. The deep state rewarded a J6 operative with a cushy California job in her first major test, allowing terrorists to assault a memorial service. This was not random violence. This was orchestrated from the top. And the same people who engineered J6 are now protecting Antifa while they celebrate political assassination. We're looking at a coordinated federal operation against conservatives. They're using the same playbooks, stand-down orders, intelligence failures, and violent radicals as foot soldiers. And as we wrap up 2025, it is time to reflect because we've learned uncertainty isn't temporary, it's permanent. Waiting for normal is not a plan. My friends at Noble Gold Investments have helped Americans protect themselves for over a decade by diversifying with gold and silver. Nobody knows what 2026 brings, but in an uncertain world, real wealth isn't digital, it's physical, lasting, and yours. When you're with family this holiday season, remember, the best gift isn't under a tree, it's peace of mind, and that's what Noble Gold delivers. Peace of mind, 1 ounce at a time. Before year's end, take one smart step towards a safer future. Visit nextnewsgold.com for your free wealth protection kit today. That's nextnewsgold.com, link below. Don't leave your future chance. And if you want a shot at those 10 1-ounce silver holiday coins for some great stocking stuffers, only qualified accounts, call that number on the screen, 877-646-5347. And now this just in. Okay, you ready for this? Because the evidence is damning. Officer Pittman helped with all aspects of the J6 ops, then gets rewarded with a Berkeley chief position. Her first big event, Antifa attacks Kirk's memorial while police stand down. Yeah. It's always the same people. One notes, Key West Jess is demanding a federal investigation into Pittman's role. This connects by any means necessary. The same Marxist cell back in 2017 with federal protection at the highest levels. They're not even hiding it. The deep state and Antifa working hand in glove. Key West Jess right here. Investigate the chief of police, Yogananda, whatever, Pittman. You figure it out. Yogananda Pittman. She was the head of the freaking Capitol Police. Dude, you can't write this stuff. This is better than a Hollywood movie because it's real life. Former interim head of the U.S. Capitol Police will be the new chief of police for University of California, Berkeley. Pittman will take charge February 1st, 2023, replacing Margot Bennett. Oh, it makes sense now. And then we have this. The DOJ formally notifying UC Berkeley they're launching a full investigation into the university after they failed to protect conservatives attending Turning Point USA's event last night. According to Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon, mob assault and thuggish intimidation of attendees exercising their First Amendment rights are unacceptable. UC Berkeley could not even protect the Patriots, and it got bad. Here's the official letter to the University of California, Berkeley regarding the TPUSA protests directed at President Milliken and the University of California Board of Regents. Signed Harmeet Dillon. Oh, yeah, DOJ is on the case. Look at this picture. Look at this. This is what happened. Look, he's wearing a red Freedom shirt, the same shirt in red that Charlie Kirk was wearing in white when he was assassinated. Look at the blood on his face. That's how bad it got at Berkeley. UC Berkeley did release a statement about the violent Antifa mob on November 10th. Says, we will conduct an investigation and cooperate with any federal investigations looking into the outside agitators who came in prepared for violence. UC Berkeley condemns all violence and will hold accountable anyone who violates the law or campus regulations. Well, what about stopping it? What about preventing it? I mean, that's really what your job is. You see, oh, well, it just got out of control and we'll catch them later. No, your job, first and foremost, is to stop it at the beginning, before it even gets to that point. They condemn all violence. Oh, lovely words. Lovely words. There is no place at UC Berkeley for attempts to use violence or intimidation. Well, apparently there was. There was quite a place at UC Berkeley where it all went down. DOJ demands records from UC Berkeley over TPUSA protests. Justice Department Civil Rights Division ordering UC Berkeley Police Chief Pittman to preserve all communications tied to November 10th Turning Point protests.
Break it up! Break it up! Break it up! Police! Break it up! Police! Break it up! Hey, white boy! Break it up! You're bleeding, bitch! Yep. Hey, white boy! You're bleeding, white boy! Hey, white boy! White boy! You're bleeding! Break it up! What happened? What happened, white boy? Relax. Take a deep breath. Relax.
Do not.
Relax. What happened, white boy? Hey, white boy! What the fuck happened?
You guys tried to rob me? Okay.
Can you guys step back, please? You guys can film, but just...
Talk now, or you...
Hey, you got cracked up. You got cracked, motherfucker. Give me your other hand. Give me your other hand. Can you please move it away from here? What's that? Hey, white boy, you leave me like this?
Do you want to tell us what happened?
That was just one moment caught on camera. You can't make this up. Officer Yogananda Pittman helped with all aspects of January 6th ops. She gets a high-paying chief of police job as a reward. Where? UC Berkeley, where Antifa is allowed to riot and terrorize a Turning Point event. Always the same people. Frontlines, Turning Point USA, Antifa protesters rushed the entrance of the event, attempting to break down the barriers. Attendees were all rushed behind a police arrest, and another anti-TPUSA protester had been arrested. Look at this. Dude, they need to crush Antifa and crush it fast. These are organized domestic terrorists. Fun fact, this is Yogananda Pittman, who was the interim head of the Capitol Police on January 6th. Less than a month later, she was transferred to Berkeley and named their chief of police, which is in Pelosi's backyard, a cushy position. Coincidence? Absolutely laughable. CBS News reporter describes Antifa attack on TPUSA event as lively and mostly peaceful. Haven't these guys learned? They lose all credibility whenever they continue to parrot these lines. Just like the Summer of Love, you got burning liquor stores and Target stores behind them. Oh, it's mostly peaceful. But this one's lively and mostly peaceful.
You can see them here in the Bay Area. It comes just 2 months after the killing of Turning Point's founder, Charlie Kirk, who was supposed to headline tonight's event. Our Amanda Harry is live on the scene there, where protesters also showed up we've already actually seen at least one fight break out. Amanda.
Yeah, things have been lively here. While that Turning Point USA event is still happening inside, protesters have been out here for hours. You can see them still here behind me. They have been chanting, just a very, very lively scene out here. While things have been mostly peaceful, there have been some tense moments. Earlier this evening, there was a scuffle that broke out where two men started fighting. UC Berkeley police had to break up that interaction. Later, someone was throwing smoke bombs and a car backfired, leading some of the people who were protesting to run away. The protest was put together by students organizing for liberation. Some students say they don't believe UC Berkeley should host a large Turning Point USA event like this one, but other people are happy to be here for the event.
It's called Freedom to Assemble and Free Speech. Quite simple.
Turning Point USA should not be here, and they are like a fascist organization, and nobody here agrees with what they are saying. And obviously Charlie Kirk has been a big issue with like a lot of college campuses and people on college campuses. So we just think obviously I didn't really follow him a lot, but knowing what he did and knowing the things that he was saying, it's just like vile and disgusting. So we don't want to support his organization, and I don't think that the Berkeley chancellor should have let them come here.
I love being involved in politics. It's something that's always interested me. Very conservative, and Charlie was a great influence on my life, just how to live as a man and a godly man. So when I heard that they were bringing TPU here, I was like, heck yeah.
CBS Bay Area did confirm that 4 students were arrested earlier today on suspicion of felony vandalism. We do have a lot of police officers still out here watching this event, keeping a close eye on everything that is happening here. We'll have the latest for you at 11.
All right, Amanda Harry.
Oh, yeah. It got nasty. $1 billion a year of our tax dollars go to UC Berkeley. This is not a return on investment. Look at this madness that unfolded. Who is behind the violent Antifa attack on TPUSA at Berkeley? Jack Posobiec writes, the answer goes back many years to the Battle of Berkeley in 2017. They're called by any means necessary, and they must be rolled up by law enforcement. Here he is on Fox.
Pacific Northwest. That's right. So this organization, it's been tied back to By Any Means Necessary, which is a group that's conducted Antifa attacks throughout Berkeley, going all the way back to the Battle of Berkeley in 2017. They've conducted attacks all throughout the West Coast, the Pacific Northwest. They participated in events with Antifa in Portland and Seattle. And so these networks are very much still on the ground. And the United States government has already designated them as terrorist organizations. We need to now start doing the work of cracking down on the ringleaders, on the network nodes, and those in power to actually be able to stop the organization before. Look, this is just a peaceful event where we've got kids that want to come in, that want to learn about Turning Point USA, that want to pray, that want to go and spread the Christian message just like Charlie wanted. But just like we found out at the very first event of this tour, violence was going to be what we were met with. And in fact, that's what they were met with again tonight.
Violence. By any means necessary. Nice name of an organization, right? Jimmy Kimmel, of course, doesn't think there's any such thing as Antifa. No, just an idea. Savannah Hernandez, a friend of the show here, says, I've been on the ground at UC Berkeley tonight. It's been absolute chaos. Here is her report.
Beginning of the night. This is Savannah Hernandez at UC Berkeley at the TPUSA Out of the Bay protest. Now, it is about 7 p.m. at this point, but this has been going on since 4:30, and my friends, it has been absolute chaos. Now, at the beginning of the night, you quickly had 2 people that were arrested. One person was a Trump supporter, another was an Antifa member, and as the Trump supporter was getting arrested, he stated that the Antifa member came and tried to steal his stuff, resulting in the altercation. Now, that happened fairly quickly at the beginning of the protest, and everything just evolved since then. Now, this is actually the entrance to the TPUSA event tonight, and the attendee line actually stretched out this way, and it kind of stretched into this area so people could get into this conference center behind me. Now, what ended up happening is this huge swarm of protesters, many of which are trans members, some of them are furries, and of course, many Antifa members and Antifa-aligned groups, they all ended up swarming those attendees. Now, one of the Antifa members actually lit off a flare, smoke started going everywhere, and then another protester drove past in his vehicle. It started backfiring multiple times. It kind of sounded like gunshots. I could see the visible fear in many of the attendees' eyes, and they all started swarming into this area. Now, police quickly let them pass these barriers to, essentially protect them and help with their safety, because the mob then quickly started descending on these barriers. Now, they have multiple times tried to break this area down and break these barriers down, and they have been chanting all night, calling attendees of this event fascists, Nazis, anti-Semites. They've been calling them every single name in the book, while simultaneously saying that Nazis need to be killed. Now, they have also been mocking the death of Charlie Kirk, and I have seen several signs tonight glorifying and celebrating Charlie's death. So that is the protest in attendance tonight. Those are the people inside. You even had people chanting, F your homie is dead, referring to Charlie Kirk. So that's an idea of how chaotic it has been out here at UC Davis. The next challenge is going to be how attendees now leave this event, as this entrance is completely blocked with very aggressive protesters.
Very aggressive protesters. Here is former USCP chief's son describing January 7th. Pelosi calls for resignation, lies about him, installs UCP intel Yogananda Pittman as acting chief. Pittman failed to give January 6th intel, gets vote of no confidence. This is what happened to the current police chief overseeing that mess at Berkeley.
Me, very next day, less than 24 hours after we got control of the Capitol, Nancy Pelosi goes on national TV, blames the leadership at the top of Capitol Police, calls for my resignation on national TV, and then lies about me. Okay? The very next day, puts Yogananda Pittman as acting chief.
But Yogananda Pittman, you just described her as the head of intelligence for Capitol Police.
Correct.
So if there was an intelligence failure, which again doesn't seem like a failure, it seems very intentional to me, but if there was such a failure, she'd be responsible, correct? Or she'd be in the chain of responsibility anyway.
Well, I mean, she was the head of intelligence. So if there's an intelligence failure, my thing is, do a proper analysis. Why do a knee-jerk reaction? I mean, putting her in charge. I mean, she ended up getting a vote of no confidence, so she didn't get the position from the police officers, because many were upset with what happened.
Where did she wind up?
Where is she now?
Yeah,
she's chief of police for the University of California, Berkeley.
Interesting. So right across from Nancy Pelosi's district.
That is correct,
in the Bay Area.
That is correct.
So you just kind of take the Bay Bridge over there, and that's where she is now. What does that position pay? Do you know?
I think it pays pretty well. There was,
pays extraordinarily well.
I'm sure it pays. I'm sure it pays pretty good. It's interesting. There was a hearing just recently that was on TV. You can look at it, where the chief of police, Tom Manger, was asked about her position. It turns out that she was given some type of a secret leave so she could start her job on February 1st as the chief of police and not retire from the Capitol Police for months later.
Oh, so you should get the benefits.
Yeah, think about that. Yeah. It appears to be against departmental policy. And nobody allegedly was told.
What you're saying is that the head of intelligence for the Capitol Police, which demonstrably didn't have the intelligence it needed to protect the building, that person was first elevated to acting chief of Capitol Police and then given a very high-paying job right across from Nancy Pelosi's district at the University of California, Berkeley.
That is correct. And I will say this.
So that looks like a reward to me.
Well, I do know that the unit had significant intelligence. And I know many people within the unit were pushing that intelligence up to the leadership of the unit. So I do know that. Many of them became whistleblowers, and many of them were punished and forced to resign.
The revelation explodes the official narrative. Yogananda Pittman, J6 architect, now protects Antifa terrorists as they dance on Charlie Kirk's grave. Federal agents rewarded for one operation, deployed to oversee another. Same playbook, the same players, the same victims, American patriots. But despite their protection, despite their violence, Kirk supporters still pack that auditorium. The deep state can deploy all the dirty cops they want, but the truth still wins. You see, this isn't just about Berkeley anymore. We've uncovered a federal conspiracy linking J6 to Antifa violence. Yogananda Pittman's presence proves what we've suspected. The deep state uses radical foot soldiers to silence conservatives. They facilitated J6, then rewarded the architects with positions where they can orchestrate even more violence. Charlie Kirk's final tour stop wasn't just attacked by random radicals. It was targeted by a federal operation run by the same people who engineered January 6th. The tentacles run deep, but now we see them. So here's my question for the comments. Should Yogananda Pittman face federal charges for facilitating violence at both J6 and Berkeley? Yes or no? The corruption is systemic, but exposure is their kryptonite. Get your next news gear below and show them we're not backing down. They killed Charlie Kirk, corrupted our cops, but they can't kill the truth.